In the final weeks leading up to Election Day, former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris are making their final pitches to voters. Today, Trump is participating in multiple town hall events while Harris returns to Pennsylvania. Harris continued her campaign blitz, focusing on black male voters with an interview on the radio show The Breakfast Club. It's quite popular. Listen to this.
One thing they've been saying, a lot of your press hits get criticized. You know, folks say you come off as very scripted. They say you like to stick to your talking points. And some media says you have...
That would be called disciplined.
Oh, okay. Speak to that.
But go on. The reality is that there are certain things that must be repeated to ensure that I have everyone know what I stand for and the issues that I think are at stake in this election.
Meantime, at a Bloomberg town hall yesterday, Trump falsely claimed there was a peaceful transfer of power back in 2020. Listen to this.
Will you commit now to respecting and encouraging a peaceful transfer of power?
Well, you had a peaceful transfer of power.
We did not. We have team coverage this morning. You're looking at Nydia Cavazos in Detroit following the Harris campaign on the left, and Jake Rosen here with me in Studio 57 with the latest on the Trump campaign. Nydia, let's start with you. Harris back in Pennsylvania today, her 11th trip, I understand, to the state since launching her campaign. Who specifically, which demographic is she trying to win over there?
Good morning, Earl. Today in Pennsylvania, Vice President Harris will be joined by several Republicans on stage, and this is as she tries to court Republican voters, from moderate Republicans to Republicans who have turned against former President Donald Trump and who are not necessarily favoring his policies or his personality per se, and therefore they're looking for another alternative. And all of this is part of the Harris's campaign's efforts to do outreach to these communities, especially in suburban areas, because again, this is going to be a very, very tight race, and it's going to come down to the margins. So for Harris and her campaign, the focus here is to not only ensure that her base is going to turn out and vote and have strengthened this voter turnout, but also ensure that they're making inroads with Republicans or moderate Republicans so that she can gain support here and further her chances of swinging several battleground states in her favor.
Moderate Republican component is really interesting. Nydia, thank you for that. Let's bring in Jake Rosen now, CBS News campaign reporter. Elon Musk donating nearly $75 million, I understand, Jake, from his Political Action Committee to support the Trump campaign. How significant is that, and what type of influence is Musk trying to push?
Well, this is kind of a merging of two things, right? Elon Musk, with all of his money, fighting, quote, censorship in his public personality for the last year plus, teasing that he wouldn't endorse someone, and then all of a sudden, after the primary ends, he took such an opposition to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris that he felt the need to get involved. He poured $75 million over the last 3.5 months of his own money into a political action committee that is not only just doing the ground game on behalf of the former president in states like Wisconsin, so actually boots on the ground and paying for people and bodies to knock on doors and turn out the vote, encouraging people to refer friends for $47 to be involved in the election and to say, hey, maybe this person's a Trump voter, but they might not vote. And to kind of point that out, again, just another sign of the support behind the former president. But again, a really significant amount of money coming in addition to someone like Miriam Adelson, who, again, huge donor. She has donated over $100 million this cycle to the former president. And based on these FEC reports, you can see that while there is a shortcoming in terms of finance that the Trump campaign has raised versus the Harris campaign, there is this massive millionaire, billionaire swell that we've seen over the last couple months to close that gap.
And just in our last few seconds with you, I know that Trump will address Hispanic voters at a Univision town hall today. Is there a difference in approach from the Trump campaign versus the Harris campaign when trying to get this block?
Well, the Trump campaign feels really good about where they stand with Latino voters, only needing to peel back some in states like Florida, where this is being taped, but also Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Same as what we saw yesterday with the Fox News town hall with women in Georgia. Just like Nydia said, trying to peel around those margins, women in a state that Trump needs to win, a group that Donald Trump is not doing well in, and a group that he needs to improve in the home stretch.
You get the sense that both campaigns need every demographic, and they're trying to get every vote they can. Jake Rosen, pleasure to have you in Studio 57 today. Thanks for waking up with us.